Hello students. So far we always measure angles using degrees, so that's the unit. And now we are going to look at a new unit of measuring angles, which is called radian. So what is actually a radian? 1 radian is defined as the size of the central angle subtended by an arc which is the same length as the radius of the circle. So if you have a circle with radius r, and you have here an arc, a part of the circle, an arc which has the same length as its radius, then this angle here at the center we call as 1 radian. So that's what we define as radian measure. So now think about it. If we have an arc with length r, this arc subtends this center angle and the size is 1 radian. If I now multiply r by 2 or make a longer arc whose length is 2r, so let's say here I'm going to have a length of an arc which is 2 times radius, then of course the angle in the center here will also double. So here is what we call as 2 radian. Okay, so when you have 2r here, the length of the arc is 2r, then we have an angle at the center which is 2 radian. If let's say I extend the arc even greater, so let's say 3 times r. So similarly, of course, you can see that now my angle, so say like this, will actually be, of course, also 3r. Oh, sorry, 3 radian. Yeah. So here I have length arc length 2r, then the angle will be 2 radian, and the arc length 3r, then the angle at the center will be 3 radian. So if we think about the whole circle, the circumference of a circle has a formula 2 pi times r. So which means if I go around the whole circle here, then the circumference is 2 pi r. So in that sense, then the whole revolution will have the size of 2 pi radian. So here in radian, a full revolution is actually 2 pi. And this is comparable to, if we measure in degrees, then the whole full revolution will be 360 degrees. So then we have a comparison between radian and degrees right away. 2 pi radian is equal to 360 degrees. Then, of course, then we can conclude that pi radian is equal to 180 degrees. So if you look at this comparison, say if I divide both sides by pi, I will have 1 here. So pi divided by pi is 1. And this is 1 radian then. On the right hand side, I will have then 180 degrees divided by pi. So I have a measure now, conversion from radian to degrees. So 1 radian is equal to 180 degrees divided by pi. Similarly, from the same start, pi radian equals 180 degrees. If I now instead divide both sides by 180 degrees, then I will have pi on the left hand side, pi over 180 degrees. Here is radian we are talking about. That will be equal to 180 degrees divided by 180 degrees, which is 1 degree then. So then you see here there is a comparison. 1 radian is 180 degrees over pi, and 1 degrees is pi over 180 degrees radian. So let's have a look how we can use this in converting back and forth from radian to degrees and vice versa. So here, as you have seen before, if we want to convert from radian to degrees, so 1 radian is this amount of degrees, then it means if I want to convert from radian to degrees, then I will have to multiply by, let's check again, 180 degrees over pi. And the other way around, if you want to convert degrees to radian, then you will multiply by pi over 180. So, right, so as an example, if you are asked to convert to radian and you are asked to give exact answer, so just leave it as fraction. If it contains pi, then you just leave it as that. So 30 degrees, if I would like to convert to radian, then I would have to multiply it by pi over 180 degrees. So then in this case, then 30 over 180 degrees is 1 over 6. So then we have pi over 6 radian. That's when you convert. And similarly, 45 degrees, we will also have to multiply by a pi over 180 degrees. And then 45 over 180, if you make it simpler, then we will have 1 over 4. So you will end up with pi over 4 radian. So what happens if you have to convert it to radian but then to 3 significant figures for something which is not special angles? Then similarly, you will have to do 43 times pi over 180. However, you can use your calculator then and just calculate, okay, 43 multiplied by pi, there is a pi button here somewhere, multiplied by pi and then divided by 180. So up to here, then 43 degrees to 3 significant figures in radian is 0.750. Right, that's simple enough. The other way around, if we convert to degrees and we are asked to give exact answers, so what do? Again, as we have seen before, to convert to degrees, we just have to multiply by 180 degrees over pi. So if you simplify that, pi and pi cancels out. So then you will have 2 times 180 divided by 5. So then you will have 360 degrees divided by 5. So which will give you 72 degrees. So that's what you have. And if this is when you are asked to give an exact answer, an exact value. So we use this 180 over pi. It could also be that you have a measure like this, 2.3 radian, and you are asked to convert it 2 degrees. This should be 2 degrees actually. So if you're asked to convert it to degrees to 3 significant figures, then you can use your calculator. 2.3 times 180 over pi. Then we will just ask help of the calculator. 2.3 times 180 divided by pi, which will give you 130 31 degrees 0.78. So to 3 significant figure, that will be 132 degrees. So try it yourself then to convert from degrees to radian and vice versa. Good luck.